Hello and welcome to Confidently Wrong, a show by regular dudes talking with confidence about content we have no right to speak about with any kind of authority, but do it anyway. I'm Wesley Nakamura, and as always, I'm joined by award-winning director Brian Redondo and Savon Jones, aka Captain Vonnie. This is episode 96, and we're sharing our last What We're Lovin' of the year. I'm confident that it's going to be the best show you've ever listened to, and well, hey, if it's not, you can always ask us for a refund.
Incredible!
Hello, gentlemen. Welcome back to our latest and greatest show, Confidently Wrong. We're going to do a classic bit.
What we're loving.
Love, 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 love.
This will be a fun show. We're gonna go ahead finish out the year strong. This will be probably our last show of 2022. I don't even know if it's gonna come out. Yeah, it should come out in 2022. So this will be our last show. Certainly the last show that we record in 2022. Savon, what we're loving this week? We want to hear about it.
Yeah, you want to hear about what I'm loving? All right, I can hear about what we loving. There's a lot of solid candidates for a lot of different reasons.
Ooh,
I wanted to do
love.
I know I wanted to do that Marvel book I ordered, but it's not getting until today. And like I read some of the preview pages, but I think I want to do a What We're Loving later to really break down what I'm liking about the book. So I'm gonna wait.
Wait, what is this book?
That no, you're gonna make fun of me. You know, it's called Marvel Anatomy.
Of course, that is the point of this bit.
It's called Marvel Anatomy, a scientific study of the superhuman. But it's basically like it's like a 200 plus page art book that's like a dossier of Marvel characters, and then almost like an anatomy book breakdown of how they function and exist.
You're just trying to see some superheroes without their costumes.
Shut up! No, it's not. If you
X-ray vision.
This is a boob
No,
book.
if you look up the preview pages, they don't have any of that in the cross sections, and that's not what it's supposed to be. No.
This man is blushing.
Savon also ordered Kleenex on that same Amazon order, y'all. So you know how it is. All right. Well, what are you really loving this week then?
Yeah, so I think what I'm gonna put for my What You Lovin', there is a new Grand Theft Auto update that came out earlier.
That game
this
will
week.
not die. Can't they just release GTA 6 already?
Can't
It's already in,
Let this
it's in,
man
produ- it's
move
in
on.
production. It's in
Oh,
production.
there was a
Let this man
leak.
move
Did you
on.
guys see
They've
the
been-
leak?
Yeah, I didn't look at any of the leak stuff, but yes.
It looks
But
amazing.
no, GTA 6 is in production. But point is, they had a new GTA update for did the next gen update stuff, and it's really just a lot of like drug war stuff, new missions, content, all of that. But I'm putting it on the What You Lovin' because, damn, for how old that game is, for how much you say it refuses to die, all that, it just provides such a unique vector of unique gaming experience of people who you're cool with and friends with. And I've said before, I play with a lot of times with Kendall in particular. I play with my brother and a lot of his friends, so we have us a good 5 to 6 man rotation. Sometimes we have a couple others we play with. Nothing is quite as fun as getting a bunch of people in real life all over the world. We're in a GTA car in the drop top, riding around in the car, just shooting random people, antagonizing them, while listening to Spotify through the PlayStation on the app through the group listening thing. And so, there's times where I was playing the other day with Tyler and Kendall, and we put on the new Metro Boomin album. It has top tier production and great features. We all got on the Spotify group thing, so we're all listening together on the same playlist. Had it all playing out in our chat, playing in the same game, riding around causing mayhem, and there's just not a lot of games that can provide that very specific experience, and there's a reason why.
That's
the game
because
hasn't
that's
died.
real life. That's what people do in real life. They get in the car with their friends and they drive around and they play the music.
But
real
here's
loud.
the
like,
but here's
that's
the
why
thing,
the games
Wes.
don't do
Motorists?
it.
But here's the thing, Wes. We don't have drop tops. We don't have
in New
sports
Orleans,
cars.
a little bit.
We don't have drop tops. We don't have candy paint and rims or nitrous. We don't have millions of dollars. We don't have
That's 'cause you
guns that
don't
we
live
can
in the
shoot at
Fast and the
people
Furious
without
world.
content. Well, damn, exactly. So that we don't run drugs in real life, but we could do it in GTA. Well, we riding down the street, moving bricks, beefing with bikers. We see a baller, bow, we shooting at ballers. Oh, let me run to the convenience store and get some snacks. man, you know what? I don't want to pay $2. Run them pockets. It's just the game has a very good blend of just gameplay, but also social screwing around where you don't have to be intensely sweating either, which I think a lot of online multiplayer games, jokes aside, struggle with, right? Like sometimes when you hop in online, I want to play games and socialize with my friends talking, but sometimes when you're just playing Apex or COD, you are sweating so hard that it's still fun, but sometimes you got to do something with your friends to turn your brain off, where you can listen to music. But Wes, you saying that's what you do in real life. We live in different cities. If Tyler live in New Orleans, Kendall live in LA, I live in Detroit. My brother got a different schedule in New Orleans. Craig live in Greece, and Errol lives in Virginia. We can't just ride in the car together and do those things. And none of us are criminals, so we can't do the other GTA stuff either. That's what makes it
I respect
fun,
it, and
Savon,
as the old cranky man on this show, like, bro, that you just got to do it in real life. Then I don't know, like, we can't just be celebrating people doing it.
I can't wait to get my
on the couch. You just on the couch.
I can't wait to get my fur coat and get my Sears, my golden suit, and my gold-plated revolver, and go around and just rob random people.
Do it in real life.
Wes.
Well, the thing is that Savon is also not mentioning, the elephant in the room here is that none of him or his friends look like a bunch of hot chola girls. So, like, this is the only way they're going to have that wish fulfilled.
I'm saying Wes is mad that I'm not going around doing the stuff we do in GTA in real life. I want you to think about that sentence. Nothing we do in that game is legal.
A young educator shaping young minds, and you're advocating for selling drugs, running people's pockets, destroying property,
virtually with your
disobeying
friends. Damn right.
Unsafe rules, driving rules.
Yes,
I see.
Yes.
I see.
Get
this man out of schools. He is a menace.
I am a delinquent in the games the way I am a law-abiding citizen in real life. I am a man of duality. All of my social poise and what I like to consider emotional intelligence is great for my day-to-day life. But when I'm trying to turn my brain off in the game, I need to be able to turn into a full-blown psychopath if that's the direction I want to lean. I might just see a person walking on the street and see, some people just haven't been hit with a bat. I got to hit somebody with a bat. Can't do that in real life. But in the game, you can do that. So
let me ask
in the game,
this.
you can live your dream of owning property and lack of debt. No, but I'm not going to do that in real life, Wes. Come on.
So I got to know.
Thank goodness.
Which do you do more, real life versus in GTA? In which one do you go to strip clubs more?
Oh, good question.
Well, I just don't go to strip clubs in real life at all. And if I go to a strip club in GTA, it's because there's a mission that requires you to have to go to a strip club, usually involving one of those things we mentioned, Wes, of drugs, violence, and other illicit, ill-gotten gains. So probably an idea in a perfect world, no to either, because strip clubs just aren't really my vibe.
Even Magic City, get the lemon
Doesn't
pepper
do
wings.
it for me. No,
You're still playing the innocent card.
I don't want to eat at a strip club. That's a whole.
I'm with that.
And that's those two things. You know what? I don't like strip clubs enough to where I'm like, yo, I need to be here and also get a bite to eat. I feel like that's for the real connoisseurs. Like in my gym, like I'm not a strip club dude regardless, but I feel like if I were to go, I'd be like, yo, let's just grab some Waffle House after or something. But my brain doesn't just go to, hey, let's get a plate while we're here. Like, F it, let's get a show. I got grease.
World famous wings. You might want.
Yeah.
You might
also, the other thing, and I'm on this, I don't like eating finger food type stuff in front of people. Like even if I'm like,
you're that weird guy.
Yeah, like I can't just eat wings.
I forgot.
You don't revert
have
into
your
my
food's touch either.
Yeah, I need to revert into my primal caveman form when I'm eating wings, and I can't just be in public. I got a beard. I could get sauce in my beard. I'm not gonna. You're gonna be at the strip club. I'm not about to get judged by just judged because I'm sitting there.
Nightmare for Vonnie.
Yo, I mean, no. Yeah, I mean,
anxiety.
A little bit.
All
I gotta go. Where you at? In the corner behind a tree. Point is, what I'm loving, GTA, they keep it refreshing, and the general just open sandbox where you can do what you want is a timeless gameplay, is a timeless vector of fun with your friends. Because even if the game itself is old, it's as fun as you allow it to be. If y'all just want to drive around and just drive and hit people and stuff, that's not going to get old no matter how long the game's been out. That's why GTA is such a successful franchise.
I got to say, food, just going back a point earlier.
Oh my God, you
at
on the
a
food
strip
thing?
club. Food at a strip club.
Strip club thing?
I lived in Charlotte, North Carolina for a brief period of my life. And when you go out, you hit up the bar scene, you get your drink on, you get your dance on, and then once all those places shut down, the available places to eat greasy food dwindles down to basically two options, right?
Oh God.
There's a tiny diner that has like a line out the door, right? There's like no way you're going to get a table. And then there is just like down the road is the strip club that serves breakfast buffet from like 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. or something like that. And it's included in the cover charge. So
I bet it is.
like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Like you know, you have your eggs and you have your legs. That's it.
In that case, you probably get both in both settings. Good Lord. I get it. I just feel like that's for people who are a bit more like that's for people who are like basically doing ranked strip clubs, Wes. You know what I'm saying? Like that's for people who are sweating it out. Like that's for the connoisseurs.
You get into the diamond level.
Yeah, that's like that's high level strip club life.
I don't know if that's high level, man.
It means you're deep into the strip club game. If you at the strip club enough to where you're like, yo, I'm also just like this is where I'm getting a bite to eat. Like, hey, what'd you have last night? I had some wings at the strip club. It was nice. That's nothing wrong with that, but like that is. You are more into the strip club experience than the random patron who went because it was a bachelor party birthday.
I've never been to a strip club.
It's all right.
I feel like I could do it.
I will say.
I mean, it's weird being in a room full of guys with blue balls. Like, I don't know why.
Okay, that's one way. That wasn't okay. I mean, that's not my. What I will say about the strip clubs was, especially if it's like a quality one. What I will say, those women are strong. Like it was one time when I was at a strip club and I was watching the people do the strip club thing. I was like, yo, that looks hard. Like that like the whole time, just like, yo, that looks really physically demanding. Like I'm just imagining like, yo, I feel like my eye would just turn to jelly trying to do like for me, I was admired more by just like the athletic ability.
Yeah.
Like I felt like I was a scout for I felt like an NBA scout more than just like, dang, what's your vert? Like, what's your wingspan? Like, so
I gotta invite you to the combine.
Yeah, like, what's your standard vert? Because if you could just mount the pole and do a spin, I'm like, all right. So, like, why are you stripping? You should be dunking. You should be working on your jump shot. This is a world class athlete right here. What? I mean, that's probably a more lucrative line of work, but like, damn, that was my main takeaway. Is like, yo, that looks really physically demanding and. I'm more like getting secondhand tired for you than anything else. Like, yo, you're not tired, me?
Contact tired.
Yeah, I'm just like, yo, you just watch this. You go to a sporting event. I'm like, yo, this dude not tired? Like, I'm getting tired. Why? Your coach say, run till I'm tired. I'm like, yo, I'm getting physically tired watching you dance. I know you tired. Get her some water. Give us some Gatorade. Yeah, sorry. That was my what we're loving. Let's go to y'all thing.
So ours is a joint one. Me and Brian mentioned this, I think, on one of our previous shows, but he's been getting it, or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe we talked about it. He was getting into Marvel Snap, and I said, try it. He kind of sold me on it a little bit. He said it's easy to get into. They kind of show you the ropes and everything. So it's like, it seems simple, and it's 5-minute games, so that part is cool. Savon, you're actually going to host this one since you haven't played the game, and me and Brian will just kind of give our why we're loving this game so much of late.
Okay, so. Yeah, y'all are playing this Marvel Snap. Yes, first of all, it's your host, Savon, Captain Vonnie, in this thing, you heard me. About to be the temp host, about to step up on my, he David Lee, I'm about to be Draymond, coming in the starter, about to usurp this thing. Kidding.
God.
We love Wes over here. But yeah, Marvel Snap. For our viewers at home or our listeners who don't know what it is, can y'all give us like a brief overview? What is this game? Where do you play it? What's the premise?
It's a phone game. It's a mobile card battler. And so for those of you who don't know what it is.
So like Pokemon.
Yeah. Pokemon is a card battler. Yu-Gi-Oh! Card battler. Magic the Gathering, the all-time classic card battler game. But these games have actually, like with real physical cards, right? It gets messy. Like it costs a lot of money, right? And these
and you got to find somebody who's at your level,
like, buying these things.
Counterfeits.
Yeah. You never know who you're gonna play. So a lot of these things have migrated onto the phone, and they made it a much sleeker experience. A few years ago, Hearthstone was like the mobile card battler, right? It just like showed the world what card battling could be like on the phone, which is a much better experience overall. And so one of the former creators of Hearthstone left and went on to create Marvel Snap, which is a fully licensed Marvel based card game,
Fully licensed. They got the
fully
deep cuts in
licensed.
here.
And so this is like this is not just MCU
Marvel
stuff,
collecting
right?
that
Not
bag.
just MCU characters or anything like that. There are like wild characters up in here. There's Mojo who's in here. There's
Moon Girl.
Mojo, wait,
Moon
Mojo,
Girl and Devil
Mojo, the
Dinosaur.
meat thing, the big ugly bald meat dude in his chair, Mojo.
no Mojo from Mojo World. So
Yeah, the
from
interdimensional
X-Men,
monster thing. Yeah, Mojo.
Exactly.
He's in like a chair. He looks all nasty and disgusting.
Yes, yeah. I think he's got long fingernails and
Yeah.
whatnot.
Oh my god, damn.
You got characters like that. You got Darkhawk, a card who's going to be dropped soon. Like that's a random like early 90s comic book character that didn't live very long or last very long. So you got like the entire IP of the Marvel universe that are funneled into this game. And so that's only a small bit of what makes this, something that I'm really into right now. A big part of it is really just the gameplay, right? They've simplified card battlers, which have gotten increasingly more complicated over the years. It's like all these different rules and ability sets on all these cards, and you just have to like stick with it for years to even be able to be a viable player. In this, they've stripped that all down, right? So you get the energy cost of a card and its attack power, and that's it. And then whatever little ability that card might or might not have. And then all you're trying to do is win the best of 3 different lanes on the board. So you're given 3 locations at random at the start of the game, and it's basically a tug of war to dominate 2 out of the 3 locations on the board, right? And so and it's over the course of six rounds, right? And each round you have the ability to buy more, increasingly more expensive cards from your hand, from your own custom built deck of 12 cards. So it's a very small deck, very few cards, and then you're throwing down the cards. And what makes it really fun is that the locations all have modifiers, and a lot of cards have modifiers. And what I mean by that is that, like, Mojo World, for example, is one location, and it's going to say, like, in true character of Mojo World, right, the most entertaining place is going to get a bonus 100 points, right? So that's basically the location where if you can fill all 4 slots, each location only has 4 slots. If you can fill all 4 with cards, if you have the most cards at the location, you're going to get the bonus 100 points. There's another location, Warrior Falls from Wakanda, where it's like the weakest cards get smashed at the end of
I still don't
every
understand
round.
how that one works, actually. I never know
So
who's
it's
gonna
like-
who's going to die.
Like, it could be your own card that you played that gets killed by your other card that you played because it's just weaker. It's just the weaker card.
So you gotta really strategically
Warrior
metagame
Falls.
around that.
Yeah. And so, like, as I was saying, like, all these locations are random every time. So you kind of don't know what's going to happen in the game. And because of that randomness, I think it makes the game
Every game is
that much
different.
more fun. Every game is different. It also levels the playing field too. So, like, even if you're up against some other person who's got the craziest deck with the craziest cards, those locations might not be good for them, and you have a chance to come out on top. So so overall, I think it's just like a step up in the card battler arena of things, and it's fun because it's Marvel characters, and, like, as I said, deep cut Marvel characters, which just like brings out the fanboy in me.
Nice.
The only thing that maybe I would add is that, like Brian said, because it's simple on its face, it's really easy to start. Like, all you have to understand is, like, each turn you have a certain amount of energy points in your hand, and your cards cost that much to play, and so you can play them, and then they have a certain power, and that power is your points. So if your side has in your one lane, if you have the most points, you win that side. And then as the game, so I think what I would say is part of the reason this game is like cool is that like the game starts you off with just that very simple idea, but then very quickly within probably the first, maybe 10 or 15 hands, you start to figure out, oh, you can like combo different players, and you're like, okay, cool, I get it. Like you're just trying to like maximize your points. And so in that way, like it became, in my head at first I was like, oh, Brian, this is kind of like Sushi Go, which is just a card game where you get points and you're just trying to like basically efficiency your way or optimize your way to the most points. But it also starts ending up a little bit more like Scrabble, where you're starting to do things to the other player so that they cannot play in the spot that they want to go to, and you start understanding like how the other player wants to play. And so it does ramp up in level of difficulty, but the beginning part where you're playing against other beginners is very much just like, hey, I understand the very basic concept of here's my card, I play the card, I get the points, let's call it a day, and so there's different levels to it that end up being very cool. And very usable, user friendly, I think, as you go up. The other part, and why me and Brian, or why I'm not getting any sleep because of this game, is I stayed up way too late.
It has killed my circadian rhythm.
Y'all some nerds.
That rhythm is gone, long gone.
The thing they do really well, which is sneaky and not that sneaky, is they're very much the slot machines of the card deck world. Every single time you play in the beginning, especially the first, like probably the first 100 times you're playing, you get something new. You get a little bonus, and it gives you a little like sound or a little animation. You get this, and it animates your card, and you level up. You get these little bubbles that you can use for like upgrading your cards. You play a card, and like something goes swish 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 and goes ding, and it like makes a cool sound. Like,
so you like the colors and shit.
Oh my goodness, the animation, the sound, the animation,
the bells and whistles are just there. Just like
every single time,
you're a good boy.
Every single time, yes, every single time you do something, you get a little Pavlovian bell.
I'm so proud of you. You're amazing.
The dopamine. Yes, exactly right.
Wes just in the corner drooling.
We're all babies.
Wes in the corner just drooling at all that validation, just like, oh yeah.
There is just a
more.
Yes.
His students don't give him that, so he's got to get it somewhere.
Yeah, my son just doing that with Kaya in his lap, just overloading, just shaking.
Yeah, I mean, there is some deep psychological like warfare going on here with this game. Like, they have figured out like how to make things look desirable. They're selling you on this gold over here, microtransaction here. They be like, oh, here you get this new card, and like everything explodes when you hit the button. Like new things happen, and different animation comes out, a different explosion happens. Like they exactly hired some psychologists, or they have been reading some psychological theory, because these guys know exactly how to build a game that gets you hooked in the beginning, and then it's got a really strong foundational underlying gameplay structure that is actually very fun, like Brian said. And you are kind of kept in your lane. You're not playing against really expert players. You're sort of kept in the same group as other people like you, which helps, right? Because then you're not playing against people who are way more experienced and who have better decks than you, which is an advantage, I think, of doing it online, is they have so many larger player base. You don't have to play against, your friend who's been playing for 2 years and just absolutely like wipes the floor with you every time.
Mm-hmm. So the game does have like a high ceiling in that, strategy and being really knowledgeable and experienced will absolutely carry you a long way, but a high enough floor to where if you're not good, you can have fun. Some games, they're fun and the ceiling is high, but, maybe that's the issue with fighting games, right? Where they're really fun when you get good at them, but it's hard to get good at them. And if you're not good, maybe you're not having a good time. This game
absolutely
is the opposite of skill still matters, right? So you can be really good and stomp people out and be a beast, but it's not hard to learn. Easy to pick up, difficult to master, I guess is what I'm trying to... Is that how this feels?
Absolutely. Yes. Yes.
I mean, that's dope.
And
and there's still chance. You can't guarantee a win very often.
I mean, it's still a card game, right? Because when it's all said and done, it's still a card. The whole point of trading card games is the element of RNG of just, you can set yourself up for success, but
Well, and you're trying to
Right,
guess
right.
your opponent, what your opponent's going to do, and you don't know. And there's a limited number of times to like get to know how they play.
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
so to that end, there's like one of the things that Wes and I were texting about was the fact that you can just play for the hell of it, right, and still have a really fun time because you just want to see what these cards do, right? And, like
Yeah,
see what
and you might
happens
win
Yeah.
sometimes too.
when you throw down Odin with Scorpion, and then Scorpion like does a
Chick,
tail
chick, chick, chick.
slash at your opponent's cards, and that's really satisfying. And then Odin like doubles up the Scorpion slash. You know, you just want to see what happens. Yeah, like it's a game that really make sure you enjoy the roll of the dice, right? Regardless of whether you win or lose. And so that happens a lot in this game where
I've lost
you
so
know,
many times and been like,
I'll
wow, that
I'll
was fun.
beast somebody, and they'll hit like the emoji buttons that are inherent in the game, and like basically like pointing and fist bumping at me like that was so cool, even though like I destroyed you, and vice versa. It's happened to me where I'm like, I don't know what the heck just happened, but Black Panther suddenly has 3 million points. Like, and when winning hands are only like 20 points, right? So but you're just like, wow, that was incredible. Let's see what happens again when we like throw out these new cards. And then the game keeps incentivizing you to keep buying new cards, or not buying, but earning those new cards, right? Like the more you play, the more you win, the more in-game credits you get, and then you can unlock more cards, new cards, and right, and you just want to, and they look cool, right? They're Marvel characters, right? They're colorful, they're poppy, and they have cool in-game abilities. So you just want to see the next card, right? And then that's how I feel about the game.
Well, yeah, and you get when you unlock a new card, that card might have an ability that you A have never seen, or B, it might be one you've seen, and you'd be like, oh, that's a cool ability. I want to add that to one of my decks and just like see what it does and see how it works.
Okay.
And so you're constantly like exploring, like, oh, how does this new card fit into one of my decks? Or do I just have to create a new deck around this like character? Or like, is this character trash? Like, they're just fun to look at. Let me put them on the side. Like, they're no good. I have a couple characters like that, right? That I don't really play. Like Shocker is one of the ones you get in the beginning, but he doesn't really do much. He's just like a 2 cost, 3 power, no other like special things happen. But there is a spot that rewards you for playing players who have no power, right? So you could double up your power on that character if you have him in your deck and he ends up in your hand. It's just like a really like complicated game in that way. And I haven't found any problems where it's like, oh, this thing happens and it breaks the game or it breaks the card. Some of them like will offset each other or offset different powers, but it's intentional and it doesn't like,
It's a rock,
you
paper,
don't get into
scissors
this
element.
chain. Yeah, you would think like, oh, so, like with, I mean, there's hundreds of cards in this game. You would think like, oh, you would run into like some sort of problem where it breaks, like one power ends up setting off another power, and then that power ends up like either spiraling it out of control or something like that. And that hasn't happened. So kudos to them too for developing and testing it so that it's not broken.
Okay, so we got bells, whistles, colors, all that good stuff.
Oh yeah,
Ability,
oh, yeah.
artwork, I don't care.
To the
What's your
max.
favorite? Like, what are some of your favorite cards? Like, for whatever
Ooh, good
reason,
question.
you like how it's pretty, it's useful. Like, give me some. Because the fun thing about this game is that for every character you're naming, in my head, I'm like, either I'm digging through my own brain to see if I remember them from somewhere, or if I just have no idea, I'm googling them. Like, I had no idea who Darkhawk was, and I looked him up, but I knew who Mojo was, and I was like, oh dang, that's a deep cut. So I'm just like curious, who else? You know. Who else
Brian,
do y'all
who's
like
your
seeing
favorite?
out there?
Who's your favorite cards?
Or maybe new characters you've learned about who's like, oh, I didn't know who this was, and now I'm Googling them because their artwork's badass, and now you just, you know, you've helped Marvel's expanded their brand a little bit.
Oh, did we lose Brian? I could go. Someone that kind of came out of left field for me in the deck was Blue Marvel. He's got a cool power. You play him, and he actually like gives powers to other characters on the board, or to your character specifically. And so that's a nice power to have. Everybody gets a +1 point value just for being on the board at the time that you play him. And I don't know who he is, but he looks like a Black Superman type of character. Pretty cool to be like, oh, I never heard of this guy, but he's got a cool like. They gave him a good power set, and so you're like, oh, he must be a strong character. And then the other one is Brian, who's the character that destroys Carnage. It's a symbiote character. He looks kind of like Venom to me, but I'd never
The
really
red
heard of him
one?
too much. Yeah, the red one.
Oh, you don't know who
Um,
Carnage is?
Not really. I'd never
Oh,
read up
huh.
about him. I mean, I think the name sounded
Classic
familiar.
Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
so
like the classic Venom Spider-Man have to work together because it's like, hey, Venom's a jerk, but Carnage is just a literal serial killer. So it's like, hey, yo,
oh,
hold
okay.
on.
So Carnage is a great card to use. And at first I was like, that's stupid, because his ability is he actually destroys cards. And in a game where you're like, oh, you're trying to get the most points, why are you trying to destroy cards? Because he destroys your own cards. So I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. And that kind of takes us to like how you build your decks. But Carnage is one of the ones where I was like, oh, that's like cool in terms of how they did that, right? And he's like you said, he's a villain kind of character, or like an anti-hero character,
He's
and
evil.
so he has a destructive ability in the game that matches sort of what his characterization is in some way. So, and they were thoughtful about that, right? Like characters who are more on the villainous side end up doing things that are a little bit more destructive. Characters who are more the hero side, they end up helping other characters around them, or powering up or whatever. Or like if you're the Incredible Hulk, you just have a large power number. You're just a big dude, right? Like that's your power. So he doesn't help anybody else, but he's got a big power number. And sometimes you just drop him on the last turn and be like, mic drop. You can't touch him.
Oh yeah, very satisfying mic drop.
And
With an
because he's the
animation
Hulk,
to
he
boot
does
where
Hulk
like the ground
yeah.
cracks and he
the
lands.
whole screen just like flash, like jumps when you play him. Brian, who are your favorite
And of
characters?
course-
We lost you for a minute. Who are your favorite
Savon, they
cards?
got your favorite character. Squirrel Girl is up in there, and
yeah.
once you play Squirrel Girl, a bunch of other squirrels come onto the other locations. So it's like Squirrel Girl
Yeah.
and her squirrels.
Yeah, she beat Doom. Never forget.
You also have like Morbius,
The living
who,
vampire. It's
the
Morbin
living
time?
vampire who's worth 0 points, but gets boosted every time a card is discarded in the game. So as Wes was saying, if you kill all these cards with Carnage, suddenly Morbius, it becomes like a 10 point or a 10 power card. There.
So you're really rewarded for creative synergizing. You can really get like creative of cards that are useless if you don't
absolutely.
do really specific setup. But the idea is that people are going to like these characters, and that's going to force you to build a really diverse deck because
because you want to play that
cards
character.
are so special, and cards are so like really specialized. Clearly, so it's not just a upper echelon of cards that are strong across the boards. Okay, there's a lot of like back and forth pro and con of cards to make it to where you don't just get a dope ability and that's it. You're getting something, but you're losing something at the same time.
Yeah, it's very balanced.
Yeah.
That's cool.
They all have like the ones that have powers will often have a certain type of weakness.
Yeah.
Like another
and
card
then to your
will
point,
like poke at it.
Yeah, or the bland card you say can really benefit from other specific abilities and cards if you get creative. That's cool. Okay.
Yeah, so my go-to deck at the moment is basically built around Wong. And what Wong does is, he uses the mystical arts to make sure other cards double up their ability, right? And then I play Wong with Odin, who also activates people's abilities a second time. So you put those two together, suddenly you're doing people's abilities 4 times over at the end of the game. And so, Wong is not worth a lot of power. And so when like people are seeing that I'm playing Wong, they're like, okay, this guy, he's definitely losing right now. And then I hit him with the Odin at the end, and then suddenly like all my cards are lit up, right? Because all their abilities are firing off like 4 times at the end of the game. And then I'll be killing people out here, man. That's what I do.
Yeah, turn it up.
The
You
Wong
do this,
Odin deck.
you're just nice with it like that. I like it.
Yeah.
Well, and then if you throw Black Panther in there, it's just a wrap.
Well, the game. Yeah, when you do that, right, like you're starting to see a pattern. You're like, oh, this person is defending this spot or they're fortifying this spot. And so you in your head are trying to calculate like, okay, is it worth it to go after that spot and like win it? Or should I like abandon that, let them continue to take that one spot and let me go focus on the other two? So Brian's thing is important, like in that kind of match, that's really hard to defend against because you're thinking, oh, this spot only has 3 points on it or 4 points on it or whatever, right? Like I'm good. I got my 8 points on it. I'm probably going to win that. He's probably going to go after this other one that's closer. And then all of a sudden he drops those last 2 cards. You're fucked because like you didn't do anything to defend your lead on that spot. You were counting on it to be a win. And then boom, now he's got that one and he already had his one that he was winning. And like, that's a wrap. The game is over, right? So you're trying to really get inside that other person's head based on what you're seeing them play. But a card like that, if you see Wong, right, then you would know, oh, that's coming. But if until you see that, you're like, oh, I'm playing a very different opponent at that point. My favorite deck so far, so I don't have Wong, so I can't play that way, although that does sound interesting. I think I'm going to come out with that when it does. I got 2 decks that I'm enjoying right now, Savon. The first is called the Destroy deck. So it relies on characters' ability to destroy cards. So there's a couple of characters that will kill the cards around them or on the same spot, and it could be bad. This could go very bad. You could end up with a lot of problems here. But you're basically counting on the fact that one of them, Carnage, when he destroys cards, he levels up a lot. So he can go from a 2-point card with only a 2 energy cost to an 8-point card or a 9-point card in 1 turn. And so that's a good energy to power ratio there.
Mm-hmm.
But if you kill too many cards of your own, right, like that's your minus points there because you lose their points because they're now off the board. But there's a few cards that when they get destroyed, either they come back or they power up other cards. There's a Nova, if he gets destroyed, he gives powers to other people that are already played. So you can sort of like try and figure out like, okay, if I play these cards, these low cost cards or Nova or ones that can't be destroyed, and then I hit them with the Carnage, then my Carnage levels up, my cards level up, they're already on there, and boom, now I've got points. And then I play Iron Man, who's worth 0, but he doubles up your other cards around him. I play Iron Man with Hulk, and Hulk has 12 points, so he gets leveled up to 24 if I play them together. And then that's pretty much a wrap. That's usually 2 spots that I can win right off the bat. Because people aren't expecting the destroy spot to become anything big. And then all of a sudden it's just like, oh, you got 14 points there already and they only got 3. They just leave it alone. They're not going to come after
bring it
anymore.
home.
Yeah. So that's a pretty lethal deck on my part. The one that deck's weakness though is if like one of the spots becomes disabled, I really need that player to like play on other spots that I'm not playing on for me to win. If he's challenging me over and over again on like the one I'm playing on, that ends up being bad for me. And then
So
I got
what's
another
funny
deck
about all of this,
yeah,
is that Wes, every card you mention, I know the exact cost, I know the exact power, and I know the exact abilities before you even say it, and that's how you know this game has a hold on me.
Oh, my
It
son
is
is
a lot.
lost
I am its
in the
bitch.
sauce.
it's a
My
lot.
son.
Wait, but I got
that-
another deck, and this one I was telling Brian about that we were talking about making this. So there's a couple cards that like just like really fuck with the game in a way that's like not helpful to anybody, and they're harmful to you too. But sometimes if you're like messing around and you like mess with the game and the board itself, like you really throw off like what the other player was trying to do strategy wise, and it becomes more helpful as players get more advanced. They have a strategy, right? They like my destroy deck. I know what my first 3 moves are going to be.
Yeah,
I know
people
what
have
my
a
4th
plan.
move is going to be. And then if I get the right cards, I know what my 5th and 6th moves are going to be in general, right? So if I have a deck that I built that's just a fuck you deck, I play. So there's a character in there that'll like change what the spots are. It's Scarlet Witch, right? That'll mess with the spots.
Yes.
So
Scarlet
the
Witch
location
changes the location.
Yeah, so
very
it'll
Scarlet
have-
Witch like.
Yeah, the location will have powers that the player is counting on. So he or she is playing 2 or 3 cards there, hoping to get the benefits of it, or knowing that like it's going to end in like 2 turns, so they want to get all their cards on there. And then on before it changes, I'll play Scarlet Witch, change the spot, and now it's opened up, and now I can play my later cards which have higher points on it. And they've already filled it up with low power cards, so they can't beat me on it, right? Or I'll play a card that like disables abilities. It disables their first ability when they first drop in, and that always sucks because they're like, wait, I was counting on me to play spots here that are multipliers, then they don't get the multiplier anymore from that character. That's Cosmo. Cosmo does that, the dog.
The dog.
Yeah. So there's all these like cards. There's a card that like you play early on that'll kill one of their cards, like it'll discard it. You play a card like Scorpion, Brian mentioned, will take away points from cards in their hand. So you're really just like throwing them off. Like all I'm trying to do that whole first part of the game is just like upset what they're trying to do, and then I think I play Hulk at the end or something like that, and then just try and like dominate them with some major points. But I sent Brian a screenshot where I lost the main battle like location by like 20 points. I mean that player had just played forever on that, but I played Professor X on another point. He's only 3 points, so he's not a winning card, but he disables the location. So as soon as you put him in, he locks the location where it's at, and the other player hadn't played any cards. So I won that spot with 3 points. I won another spot with 2 points, and I won the game. Like I had won 2 out of 3 locations, even though I literally had 5 points on the board. And like this game is like, it fucks with your head, and it's just like fun to be like, you lost because you didn't count on me just like completely locking down the board with like fuck you cards.
There's creative ways to win and lose in the game.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hobgoblin throws negative points at him.
It allows Wes to be the troll that he wants to be.
Wait, have you put together a fuck you deck or a annoy deck?
I am waiting. I'm waiting on some cards to be able to do this sort of thing. But right now, I've just been focused on winning and leveling up my rank so that I am on par with my wife Anna, who is also into Marvel Snap and plays way more than I do. So she was like 10 levels above me, and so fortunately, because she was at a higher level, she started to lose. And as I was winning, we have finally matched levels. And the reason why we're doing this is because we are trying very hard to play against each other, which
there's no private
biggest gripe of the game, they do not allow you to choose your own opponent. You cannot match with friends within the game and invite them to a little competition. So we were trying to game it so that we are at the same rank.
You like hit
and
go at
our
the same
random
time?
match will be each other. Yes, we literally went 3, 2, 1, hit play. No, it has not happened. We just started trying yesterday. But hopefully she's still at the same rank as I am. For all I know, she stayed up till 5 a.m. and has now leveled up.
Damn, dude,
we'll see.
That is
I'm at 36.
That is
what
effing adorable.
I'm at 43.
Okay, all right, I got a ways to go. I need more cards, I think, to catch up.
Y'all are adorable. This is so cute.
Is this not the nerdiest thing you've ever heard?
It's adorable. It's the cutest shit ever. It's like 2 college homeboys texting each other with the game while the one's also playing with his wife. Did you know
we weren't texting in college? That shit cost money in college, Savon.
You did, you know what? No, I'm saying old college buddies texting.
Oh, I see.
Y'all texting each other now in the present. Damn it! I knew it was black and white back then. Jeez.
Hey, it was green and gray back then. Green and gray.
Y'all just
get your Nokia straight.
Y'all just got Technicolor. Look, and you knew Anna too, right, Wes?
I've met her. No, we didn't go to college together, so I didn't grow. We didn't grow up together.
Oh. Still though, but y'all still that's adorable. Y'all old homies playing it, and then other ones playing with the wife, and y'all all trying to match make. This is much like GTA, a great way to just bring your friends together virtually when you're far apart. Well, Brian, you and your wife, y'all in the same space, but like,
all we want to do is get together with our friends who are distant and play a board game.
Yeah, man.
That's what this is about.
Exactly.
Hey.
Oh, this is.
But that is. I mean, I understand why they haven't done private matchmaking, because you could throw your friend could throw matches like really easily, right, and just level you up, no problem. So that part I get why they don't want people
turn off ranking, right? That's a game.
Right,
yeah,
right.
maybe
exactly.
That's all they need.
Just turn off the
private matches should just be outside of the rank. I'm 100%. But
does that.
Yeah, they should do that, because it'd be so much fun if I could just like call up Brian and be like, hey, let's like play some 10 matches and see what we do. They haven't.
We need to test our decks, right?
Yeah,
we gotta do some play testing.
Practice it, right? Yeah. The other thing too. Well, yeah, because like you can't test them. Well, you can, but you lose points, right? Like even if you're testing a deck and trying to figure it out, like you lose points while you're doing that if you don't win. The other thing is like this game doesn't have a very good like social experience. So you can't really like chat or know who's on the other side. You can send them messages, but it's like 5 different prescribed messages, like hello or oh snap or arg, and that's it. That's all you can do, and your little avatar just says it. The avatars aren't customizable. It's like you get one of 12 like Marvel characters you can put in there. Can't like you can add a tagline to your character, but it's like you have to unlock the tagline, and it's a tagline that like they made up. Like there is no moon is one of the taglines, which feels like it's from, or that's no moon, which feels like it's from Star Wars, not from Marvel, but whatever. Just so much in there that like they could do that's more social. I think that's probably
some
gonna
missed
like
opportunities.
some things that they need to build in, but the fundamental foundation of it is a lot of fun. And Savon, I do think you would like it.
Yeah, I think the biggest missed opportunity is that Savon hasn't played yet, and I don't know what's up with that.
I'm not about to play a phone trading card game. What is controversial
Come on, man.
about that statement?
You said you're into Pokemon. This has to be right up your alley. It's like
I'm
the
into
whole
Pokemon,
Marvel
the game,
universe,
not the cards. Yeah, and I'm like, I'm enjoying it secondhand, maybe soft vicariously through y'all. I'm not about to download a mobile Marvel card trading game and get. No, I have a PS5. I'm good.
I have a PS5. I have not touched God of War since I started playing Marvel Snap.
Right.
I'll tell you that.
Well, damn, I don't need Marvel Snap. I got enough shit. I got this Witcher, this next gen Witcher 3. I got Grand Theft Auto. I got Apex. I got God of War. I'm eventually hop back into Horizon. I'm getting my PC reset up today. Like I got stuff that's gonna keep me occupied. You know,
you're missing out, man. You are missing out because I want to send you screenshot after screenshot.
How they monetize the game? What's the catch? Ain't nothing in life good.
They let you purchase like extra level ups, so you can buy in-game credits. You can. And there's like 2 different kinds of credits. Well, I guess you could just buy gold, but that gold has a couple of different uses to it. And that's part of the thing, right? Is like, because that's how part of the dopamine hit is like, they've got like 4 or 5 different like reward systems going on at the same time. Maybe it's like 3. They got like 3 reward systems going on at the same time. So you are just always like getting inundated with like a little bit of credit here, a little bit of credit there, a little bit of like bubbles here, a few bubbles here, a couple gold here, like a little bit of ranking thing here, season pass ranking here. Like you get all these kinds of like level ups that are coming through, and the gold you can buy in game, just like NBA 2K VC bucks or whatever. It's like that, and you can spend those how you want. But
and then every month they have a season, right? And and that season is always themed around one character and storyline. So in November when Wakanda Forever came out, it was a Wakanda.
Yeah, I saw the ads for that. They had Killmonger and a bunch of shit.
Yeah, and so if you buy the premium pass for that season, you will get access. You will get the coveted card for that season. So for Wakanda Forever, it was Black Panther, right? And then you also get access to other rewards related to that. So the current season right now is Silver Surfer, and so me on principle, I do not want to spend money in game. Especially for a mobile game, I just want to play free 99 like I do. And so I do not have Black Panther, which I'm very salty about. I do not have Silver Surfer, which I'm very salty about. And I am reaching a breaking point. So like, check in with me in 2023.
You've played enough that like it's like you could throw $10 towards the developers. They obviously put together a good game.
Tell us, Wes, how much money have you spent on this game?
I spent $10 getting the Black Panther card. And I didn't realize I did it just under the wire. I literally bought the card. I played one game, and then the season changed to Silver Surfer. So I literally got Black Panther right at the end, and he's been a really good card. I don't play him as much anymore, but a good card to have. I didn't buy the premium one this month. I don't think I will. And I got that Infinite card. Remember I was telling you I want the Infinite? Oh yeah. I got him in one of the regular pool cards. So you don't need to spend. You don't have to spend to play the game. You could literally just play it out. And you get some like they give you the bonus bucks, like the VC bucks or gold they call it in the game. They give you that occasionally. They'll give you 100 or 200 so you can spend it in the game. So they keep going. You could do it without spending money. It's possible.
Anna has definitely dropped a nice dinner's worth on this game. And I am not into
$20.
Oh, more than that. No,
she went for the
Gambit Rogue combo that they were selling. Oh my god.
I'll
Savon, you
enjoy
should check
the
it out.
secondhand stories from y'all. I'm not about to check it out. Why can't I appreciate that it's dope? It's
You
cool at
can.
what it does. I appreciate that and say it ain't for me.
But you don't know. You haven't tried it. It is free. You
I
don't
haven't
have
tried
anything to
crack
lose.
either,
It's
but damn, I
free.
can still look at it from a distance and say, I get it. Not I, said the mouse. Like, damn.
Crack is also free first time.
No, Savon told us there ain't no drug dealers giving away samples.
Yeah,
That's what he
what
said.
world? Yeah, I'm like, what world y'all living in where people just giving away free? People say they're giving away edibles in the candy. Where? Where? Nowhere is where. Fantasy, imaginary land is where. Well, I guess I mean, we'll see.
Well,
This-
so
this
then
game
Marvel
can be
Snap
very
has a one up
sweaty.
on that.
Yeah,
That's
this game
fine.
can be
I mean,
sweaty.
I'm a sweat because I'm just built like that. I'm gonna turn up if I download it, but there's lots of things
Do
I
it.
could do. Doesn't mean that I should.
That's
or
where I
will.
think you'll enjoy it, man. I think you will like doing the Hulk mic drop on people. It is such a gratifying feeling.
Fine, I'll just lie on air and say, okay, I'll download the game.
I want to see some screenshots, buddy. You gotta
he
gotta
want
text me those
receipts.
screenshots.
All right,
All
so
right.
maybe I'll consider it. But Marvel Snap, fun card game, easy to get into. Low, clearly they haven't really. You don't
Addicting,
clearly,
not just fun.
Clearly you can,
addicting.
and clearly you can have fun and enjoy it. And what? It's addicting, but it's not fun.
No, well, I mean it is fun, but I'm saying like
about to
I think
say,
addicting
I'm like,
is
well,
a better
Wes.
word.
Oh, well, that okay. Normally, when I describe things I enjoy, fun is what I try to lead with. But if hey, I didn't play it, so if we're leading with addicting, so be it. It's addicting, and you'll also have a little fun amongst the addiction. But
For sure.
yeah, any closing thoughts on your card game?
I think Wes hates himself now. he's a sad boy.
I love
'cause
that
he's
you could
reached
just play.
addiction level.
Yeah, I love that you could just play different types of ways and have fun with the different styles of play, and you're trying to figure out what the other player is trying to play too at the same time. And it's not. I mean, it's quick games. You could play 5 minutes and be done and not have to keep going, or you could play 10, 20, 30 minutes and get sort of into it. But you don't need to dedicate like 30 minutes to it just to get rolling. Like you literally play one game and you're in and out in 3 or 4 minutes, and then you're on to the next if you want or you're not. So that part is cool. In terms of flexibility, especially when you're a dad, right? Like, oh, something's happening, gotta go. Like you don't leave your homies hanging in the middle of a match like I did to Savon the other day. Sorry, Savon, didn't mean to do that.
No, you're not, but it's okay.
Yeah. So
And then you realize it's 5 a.m. and you've been playing for 4 hours straight.
Yeah, Wes had me sitting there looking like a dun-dun-dun. Like, oh, word.
Hey, I gave you my my purple armor. All right. That'll do it for us. Let's close out the year strong. That was 2022. 2023 should have some good things in store for us. We got our 100th episode coming up pretty soon that we're looking forward to. We'll have some giveaways. We'll put on our Mr. Beast hats for a day. Throw out some $1 million prizes, $300,000 prizes. It's gonna be good. We'll get the sponsors involved, Brian. Don't worry about it.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I think our sponsors have fallen off since we lost Mike, because we used to have
We just-
Snuggies. We used to have the Disney cosign. We need Mike's business connections back up in this joint so we can get those sponsors going. Because
Mike is just walking around like a race car driver. He's got all the patches of different brands all over him.
We about to be in this mud doing Hello Fresh and what's that? Wes, what's the security people who be on everything?
Simply Safe, bro.
Simply
Simply
Safe.
Safe.
Yeah. We about to be doing Simply Safe. It's the holidays. Doing the ad
We're about
reads.
to
Give us
sell-
some time, y'all.
We're gonna
never
sell
too-
a square foot plot of land, get you a lordship. We're gonna do it
Right.
all.
It's
Everything.
never too
Squarespace.
late to
Spot
sell
on the
out.
moon.
It's never too late to sell out, people. It's never too late, and hopefully our day will come. But
All right, gents. Well, happy New Year, happy holidays, everything. And 2023 is gonna be the year. We're gonna go big. We're gonna go private. We're gonna go viral next year. So it'll
the
be a
good kind
one.
of viral.
Hell yeah.
I've already been the other vibe.
We're gonna bring Elon on this mug. Just antagonize him, and it'll be a 30-second episode.
Oh my god, everybody would tune in for sure. All right, that's
Okay.
it. Have a good one. Call us at confidently_pod. I guess you can't call us. Text us, comment us. You know the deal.
281-330-8004. Hit me up.
Later.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Are you guys gonna watch Avatar
Yeah,
in 3D?
I am.
I am
Nope.
too. I think
Gotta go see that motherfucker.
I like a spectacle, man. A spectacle.
Yeah, man. People who hate on the first Avatar are just like, that's such an unoriginal thing to hate on. It's just like, dude, we hating on a movie for not having an original plot when 99% of movies historically don't have particularly interesting or original plots. Like, that's suddenly you motherfuckers
Yes.
care about plot. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
It's
they ain't got no
definitely a mid-
blockbuster.
It's
People care
mid,
about
like when you just like story wise and whatever. But I mean, watching it on the big screen, it's an
How often
experience.
how often do we talk about movies that
But I think what they're really getting at too is the characters are kind of bland. Yeah. Like you could
Yeah.
get like we talked about in Maverick, right? You could
The
get
main
away
dude
with
definitely sucked.
a vanilla plot if your characters are like intriguing, interesting, whatever. You know, or like what they have to deal with is interesting.
how many big budget, like, blockbuster type films have these either an amazing plot or these super deep characters? I'll wait.
I mean, they got cool
Infinity
characters.
War, that was fucking awesome.
Infinity War, as much as I loved, also, first of all, half of it is because it's an awesome action spectacle, because that's what it's fucking supposed to be, and it delivered. But more importantly, Infinity War, you still had to see fucking 15 other movies to understand the context of it. Like, come
Yeah,
on.
but I did
come
see
on.
those, so I'm good.
All right, cool. But I'm saying, even this movie, Infinity War wouldn't have some kind of super deep plot. You got the stones, bad guy trying to get the stones. He beat
Yeah.
everybody up getting the Mitches. Like, that's not deep,
Oh,
but that's
Inception.
not
No,
the movie.
it doesn't have to be
There
deep.
you go,
It's intriguing,
Inception.
but the characters are cool.
Oh, I haven't even seen Inception because that shit.
Oh, really?
Look,
Incredible.
That shit. I was like, this shit look hard to follow.
It's confusing.
I'm not into it.
Incredible.
Yeah. You could pass. It's confusing.
Yeah.
No,
my point
definitely
is,
don't pass.
My
That's
my
one
point
of
is,
the greatest
all I'm
movies.
saying is that, yeah.
Oh my
No.
god.
All I'm saying is
guys.
that. All I'm saying is that
You guys
people
are
shit
terrible.
on. All I'm
Terrible
saying,
taste.
I don't think Inception's bad. I'm just saying people go out of there. People move the goalpost to shit on things and are very inconsistent about it. Of CGI sucks for a movie and that's what matters in a movie until it's Avatar, and then it's like, oh, it doesn't matter, it's about the plot, and then other way around depending on. It's just people selectively move the goalpost so that everything is mediocre.
It's just too
Is
many
what
things. Too many things weren't good enough in that movie. That's all.
It depends what
I'm
the
with
focus of the
people.
movie is and then how they use it.
Yeah, and to me, it was a movie that was
Like
clearly
everything
meant
is
to be a
relative
visual.
to itself.
Yeah, exactly. And like to me, that wasn't meant to be a movie with a deep movie of heart plot with characters. It was meant to be a showcase of a beautiful, fictional, very lived-in world with its own culture. And I got that, and that's like, okay, cool. I don't give a fuck if this is an unoriginal, cowboys, natives type story. If I get this amazing visual storytelling that I've never seen before. And in other movies, that's like, okay, it's not a
Zero
visual
chemistry.
spectacle. It's not a visual spectacle, but that's not what it was
Yeah.
meant to be a focus on. So I'm not judging it
sure.
on that. Like
for
what
sure.
was the movie Parasite? Parasite wasn't meant to be a visual spectacle, so I'm not even going to judge it on that. I just feel like
But it
Avatar.
There was some
Was.
spectacle. Yeah, there's some.
I
Spectacle
mean,
there.
I'm saying in relation to like
Yeah, it was an
action
action set.
Avatar.
Yeah,
action type shit. But it was good at what it was trying to do. I felt like for what it was trying to be, Avatar was good, and a lot of the hating is like, okay, well, it was never meant to be that. So like,
Yeah, I think that's fair.
what were you like?
I
Like,
think it
what were
just
you
felt
going
too
to the
sharp.
theater for when you saw Avatar? Motherfuckers was not going for a deep story. We was going because it was in 3D with the cool special camera effects. That's what they pitched it as.
Blue
Everybody knew
people.
that. Everyone
Blue
knew that.
people with giant eyes.
Yeah. Now years later, people want to pretend that it was going there for the plot. Shut the fuck up. It's like saying, I watched the anime for the plot. No, you didn't. You watched it for the titties. And it's okay if you watched it for the titties, but stop pretending that you didn't.
Bullet
Sorry,
Train is a
that
good
should have been
example
our
of
rant.
this.
That should have been our rant.